Listen to what they're saying, man. You've got to listen. These are the people that we're trying to have a connection with.
Yeah.
You can't go on the defensive.
I'm not going on the defensive. But I'm just saying, like, I feel that I am not totally understood.
Personally, I don't understand why some of these people are still on the show. This is why I find it a bit difficult to review this show. Because at the end of the day, people like Lauren, Ashanti, and Shannon should have gone home, as far as I'm concerned. They bring nothing to the show. They really do, because they're just as boring. Lauren at this point in time is just looking for someone to save her. And I don't like how the girls have suddenly turned on Carde when they were all treating him like he was, a gift to womankind. And suddenly now they have an issue where they're calling him superficial. It seems like there's now a competition whereby the girls are going for who they think is the most popular guy instead of going for who they have a connection with, because I didn't understand why they suddenly felt the need to come for Carde. Whether or not he's being superficial is one thing, but to call him out in front of everybody was unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. And then Bello and Dom, it seems as though production are the ones that are forcing them to speak to other people. Otherwise, they in themselves have already got this connection whereby they have sort of tunnel visioned, and it seems like every time they're speaking to somebody else, it must have been on production say so. As far as I'm concerned, they must have been told that no, you need to go and speak with somebody else. That way there's sort of this mystery of who you're going to pick at the end of the day, because otherwise their connections to me with other people like Lauren or even what's the name, Ashanti, doesn't make sense. But anyway, I might be looking too much into it. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Ready to Love, Season 11, Episode 9. So we have the girl sitting down with Tommy and being asked about their connections and how they went with Meet the Friends. You have Dominic saying, she likes the word that Bella stood on business. Dominic is always going to be Bella's loudest cheerleader, so I'm not surprised by that. Ashley said that Darius said everything that she wanted to hear. I said it before, he's putting on a performance because he's trying to get an influencer role after this show. Shannon said, she likes Steve, she likes his vibe, and she thinks that he is being very genuine. I think Shannon likes Steve more than he likes her. That's the impression that I get. Ashanti said, her friend also liked Steve, but they want him to be more vulnerable. And it's like, people expect someone to come on the show and be vulnerable with every single person. No, they're going to be vulnerable with who they want to be vulnerable with, and that's okay. Donna said, my friends, well, she liked Vince more than her friends, it seems, but I think Vince is good for her because they understand each other, as she's always saying. And then you had the girls, some of them say, oh, they're not so sure about Vince. You had Lauren say, my friends and Vince argued for 10 minutes about his height. She said it. Whether she said it or whether the production told her friends to sort of instigate this fight, at the end of the day, she should have called out her friends as much as she called out, Vince. I will stand on that. The girls were asked who they were not feeling. They said, Carde, they feel he's giving textbook answers and it's very surface level. There's no connection there. Devon, sadly, they feel he wasn't able to stand on business, and Devon was his worst enemy in the sense that he had too many connections and wasn't able to tunnel vision, and so this is why he found himself in the place that he was in. Tommy then says to the girls they need to decide who they feel is not ready to love, and after this they'll be going to a lake getaway for the couples to sort of explore connections and see who's their most likely candidate. You had Ashley meet up with Carde, and you had Shannon meet up with Devon. Ashley and Carde, they talked about, the fact that the girls feel he's very superficial and that he's not telling them the truth and he needs to dig deeper. This is something that the girls have suddenly started bringing up, and to me it makes me question, is it because he's not playing ball? Is it because he is not willing to sort of make the sacrifices that the girls want him to make for them, or he's not willing to sort of save any of the girls? Because otherwise it didn't make sense why they decided to pick on him like that. Anyway, they felt he was still ready to love. He was told you're still ready to love, so you still stay on the show. Poor Devon. He was told that your date will look warm, you lacked confidence, you chose you lack the ability to stand up for yourself, and you should have been more outspoken where you were challenged. And sadly, Devon production tried their best. They did, but they were not able to save him. They tried their best to sort of give him the confidence that he needed to stay on the show, but this didn't work out so well for him. He's told he's not ready for love. He acknowledges that maybe he should have, chosen who he wanted, and he should have shut off some connections instead of pursuing things that were not going anywhere, and this is one of his faults, which I think is the truth, because he had way too many connections and he wasn't able to focus or tunnel vision on anyone. I think he thought the more connections he has, the more likely he is to be saved, but this didn't work in his favor, so he was told, you're not ready to love. The guys and the girls then get ready to go to the lake cabin for the getaway. When they get there, everyone is excited, everyone is giddy. And so you have Vince say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to walk around and we're going to pick rooms. The girls thought, no, we're just going to run around like headless chicken, and whoever finds their room, that's it. Shannon was the first one to find this amazing room. And so I'm really sad that even though she found the best room, it was taken from her by Dom. And it didn't make sense to me. Why was that done? Was that done because production wanted Dom to have the best room in the house? Or is it because she decided to sort of just take a step back? Because she looked overwhelmed when Dominic just walked in and said, okay, I'm taking this room and I'm taking it with Bello. And it's like, why? Why does she have to, I'm surprised there wasn't that much of a big deal about it, whether it's because Dom and, Shannon are best friends, or whether there was something else sort of driving that. I didn't quite get that, and I found it very confusing and very upsetting. You then had Shannon go for a chat with Darius because, she wanted to have a conversation to see where they stand. And so she was asking Darius that you've been in a relationship for 11 years and you didn't end up in marriage. Why? Darius gave the excuse that the relationship was on and off. He said the woman he dated was a stripper and he thought he could change her. So he thought he was Professor Saver. And sadly, that didn't work out for him because he wasn't able to save her. And so for Shannon to make it seem like she doesn't know what an exotic dancer is, okay, maybe she doesn't, okay, we'll take it at face value. And she asked him, what attracted you to her? And he said he was attracted to the energy and the looks, and they met at his club. This man is out to sell himself. He's putting on a persona, and that is what he's selling. Sadly, I'm surprised the girls cannot see through that, because at the end of the day, he's been putting on an act from day one, and they all seem to continue to buy whatever he's trying to sell to them, and are not seeing through his mess. You had Steve and Donna sort of have this chat where they were just flirting. And, they were sort of having conversations about the outfit that Donna was wearing. And then Steven asked her, how much did you spend on your shoes? She started talking about it. They spoke about how do you sort of monitor your finances? And so for Shannon to then come and sort of step in, that didn't make sense. That didn't do her any favors with Steven, because I think for Shannon, what she feels like Steven is her number one, and so she's trying to mark her territory. Sadly, it's falling short, because I think to Steven, this is giving him the ick. Anyway, she then says to them, let's go and sit down. They go and sit down on the couch. And so when they sat down, you had Vince say, oh, okay, since you're here, I'll join in. And he started chatting with Donna. I actually loved that chat with Donna because I thought it was very deep and very insightful and showed us a different side of Vince that we didn't get to see. Donna said she wants a reliable partner. She wants to know how he will respond once they have children, when they get married. And he spoke about the fact that, his daughter knows will really love another sibling. His son, not so sure, but his daughter will definitely love that. Donna spoke about how her dad remarried and had another child while she was 16 years old, and how close she is to that sibling. And I think this was very good for Vince, because Vince seems like he's a very analytical person, a very sort of mathematic person, sort of like Donna. And he was saying, I love the fact that she's experienced this. So if we are to have a family, she will have a better understanding of him. And I love them as a couple. I think I now get why Donna says everybody else doesn't understand Vince, but I do. And it seems like he might be the better of the guys in the experiment at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. He had Lauren sit down for a chat with Bello. And she was sort of saying, I'm trying to be very politically correct. I'm trying not to say anything that will upset anyone, but I want to know where you stand. At the end of the day, she should have just come out and told him, I'm not happy that you're sharing a bedroom with Dom. If you're going to share a bedroom with Dom, then let us respect each other's boundaries. As she told the cameras, she should have told him, I don't want you to be physically intimate with her. And then he would have said where he stood. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, Bello and Dom have a stronger connection than anybody else, or than with anybody else, actually, if you're going to say it. And I feel like production is the one that's pushing them to speak to other people. Lauren, in my opinion, I don't think she likes Bello as she makes out. I think she likes the idea of winning Bello over the fact that she really likes Bello as a person. So for her to try and set boundaries while not setting boundaries, I found it confusing. You then had Carde take Ashanti on this sort of, I don't know what it's called, a hoverboard sort of thing, because he said the girls are saying he's not digging deeper, so he wanted to show her something that he likes to do so that she could see a different side of him. I don't think she wanted to see an activity. I think she wanted a conversation. And Carde, for some reason, is struggling to open up to the girls, and this, I don't know whether it was able to make any difference or able to sort of provide any insight into him. On her part, actually said this shows her that he's adventurous. Yes, he is adventurous, but who is Carde? We would need to know more about him as a man. Do I think they make a cute couple? I think aesthetically, yes, but I don't know emotionally whether there's that strong connection. You had Bello and Dom sit for a chat. They really seem very intimate. They really seem at peace, and they seem very connected. I see them as a cute couple. My only problem is I don't know whether they're as fully aligned as they make out. I think there is a physical attraction, yes, but I don't know whether emotionally, spiritually, there's anything stronger than that. And so the idea that they're constantly flirting, they're always telling each other how good they look, and they're always trying to sort of make out. Okay, if that's it, I don't know. But I wish they had a lot of a deeper connection. And sadly, I don't think this is going to last. I think it's going to be like the couple from last season, with Cisco and whatever that girl's name was, and they're not going to, go any further. You had everybody sort of come up to dinner, and they were sort of sat at the table. This is where it became Ox galore for me, because I think the girls have suddenly decided to pick on Carde, and they are going to try and eliminate Carde for reasons best known to them. Vince has suddenly settled himself to Donna, and so I think the girls are going to go for who they think is the weakest target, and they smell blood. Anyway, the question was, what have you learned about yourself in this experiment? You had Ashanti say, I've realized that I'm a prude and I don't want to hear about other people's connections with my connection. Lauren said, she's found out that she's very judgmental. She's already told us that she's very judgmental, so I'm not surprised by that. Carde said, he's learned that people aren't going to see you for who you are, and he feels like he's misunderstood. I think he is misunderstood, and I wish he would open up a bit more and he would tell the girls exactly what he means, because every time they try to ask him a question, they have things they want to hear, but they're not sort of able to express themselves to him, and he has things he's trying to say that he's not eloquently able to articulate to them, and this is where they're not aligned. I know Vince tried to sort of help navigate this, but it didn't help, so in the end he just took a back seat and just watched them. You had Ashanti and Bello sit down for a chat, and Ashanti and Bello was saying, although his connection with Dominic is very strong, he knows that if there is a possibility that Ashanti and his connection could grow stronger and surpass that with Dom. I feel like the only reason that would happen is because he wants a family, and he feels like Dom is not able to give him what he wants. On her part, Ashanti saying her friends felt like he might get her to try and convert to Islam, and she doesn't want to do that. He said he doesn't care what his wife does, but he is worried about what his children do. And it's like, he's already telling you but not telling you. If you cannot read between the lines, then that's on you. You then had this chat between Lauren and Vince. I feel that conversation only took place because Lauren realized that she's losing Bello and is now trying to look for a plan B so that she stays on the show. It's not because she feels any type of way about Vince or her connection with him has changed. I think she just wants someone to speak up on her behalf, and sadly he sees through that mess. In the morning, you had everybody come down for breakfast, and then they went to a masterclass that was being held by Stephen, and they were sort of painting pottery, what do you call it? Oh my God, flower pots, so that they could give their strongest connection. I thought that was really sweet. Tommy then arrived and said, it's time for the guys to have a conversation with him and decide who's not ready to love. Who do I think of the girls is going to go? I have a feeling it's going to be between Shannon and Ashley. Not Shannon and Ashley. I think Shannon and Ashanti, in my opinion, if I'm being honest, I think one of them is most likely going to go home. So I can't wait to see what happens with that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 8. Bye everyone.